I have found a new role model, a mentor really. This is Julius, a 62-year-old man, and he has an interesting relationship with balloons. But my love for Julius is so much deeper than that. And in this video, I'm hoping to introduce you to potentially the greatest man on planet Earth. But the first thing you should know about him is probably...
When I see a beautiful balloon, my heart starts to flutter and I get aroused. I'll take a 12-inch and I'll inflate it to 11-inch.
This is who Julius is. This is the man. I had to start you at that point in the video, 137. We'll go back in a second because the motions that he's doing with these balloons, this 62-year-old man has known about this part of himself for a while. This image right here, the smile, the warmth as the light from the balloon is landing on his face. But this image just standing literally with the exact silhouette of Peter Griffin stroking a big balloon, talking about how he gets aroused. This is my favorite man on planet Earth, Julius. And when he's talking about it and they cut to him filling one up, this is the technique of like, you never see those videos of somebody who folds the boxes of dominoes and they're going like, like where your body just intuitively knows what you're doing. The pulling.
I'll take a 12-inch.
I have never seen someone inflate a balloon like that, like, oh yeah. Oh, yes, so sensual. Sometimes I'll take a 12-incher and inflate it to about 11 inches.
I'll take a 12-inch and I'll inflate it to 11-inch.
The fact that to him that means something, that's why I love him so much. Oh yeah, 12-incher. We are not thinking of balloons when you say a 12-incher. Yeah, I'll take a 12-incher. You said you'll take a 12-incher and inflate it to an 11-incher to keep it thicker. He likes the elastic thick. Okay, but let's go back to the beginning of the video because I have to, we have to get him introduced to us. This is in El Paso, Texas. Shout out Texas. Yeehaw!
My name is Julius. I'm 62 years old and I'm addicted to balloons.
No. The context that we know about him, having it in his mouth like that, drenched in sweat. Like his shirt is soaked in sweat. His forehead, the hairs on it, dripping wet, just going. He is having a devious time in that thing's hole. It's an object. It is an object. I feel like I'm objectifying the balloon right now though, but it is. I am also very fascinated by this image right here, where it seems like some sort of Fibonacci sequence of circles that ends with him sitting there like that picture of Larry David. That is the exact same energy. And oh my God, it's all surrounding his bed and it looks like there's a towel on top of the sheets. I don't know if that's just what his bed sheets are like, what his comforter is like, but that definitely looks like a towel. I don't want to even mouth it. Come here! Without the here. Towel. Okay, let's keep going.
They're beautiful. They're soft, smooth, delicate. I have a connection with them. Intellectually, I know that balloons are not alive, but sometimes I wonder if it's my love for them that brings them to life.
This is so funny. He's sitting there. That pose with him saying, intellectually, I know they're not alive, but what if it's my love that gives them life?
Intellectually, I know that balloons are not alive, but sometimes I wonder if it's my love for them that brings them to life.
With this image, this is prime for Pixar's first R-rated movie. I think they call it Blowy. Hey, that would be funny. Hey, Pixar, that would be funny if you made it an R-rated movie about it and it was called Blowy. Pixar, that'd be funny. They're beautiful, soft.
They're beautiful. They're soft, smooth, delicate.
Soft, smooth, delicate, ending on this picture of him holding it up, looking into the warmth of this balloon as if it has his entire soul and future inside of it. There's something deep about this connection that he has.
Julius has been addicted to balloons for over 5 decades. It started when he was a child as an innocent attraction to the shapes and colors. Now Julius has filled his home with over 50,000 balloons.
Oh my God, that shot. This right here, just a David Fincher unsettling image of, please, I have to tie this one up. Balloons cascading down on us in the foreground. He has had this for 5 decades. It started as a child. Yeah, that's what I'm saying with this motion of like, ooh, let's fill it up. That is 50 years of experience. I'm Adam Savage and I'm Jamie Heineman. Together, we have over 50 years of balloon fetish experience. But they said it started as an innocent affection with the balloons. Here's the thing. I was once a 12-year-old boy. If where he has ended is any indication, that was a devious time in the young man's life. And by devious, I mean not harming anybody, and with it's totally fine. And it is. It's just the level of commitment to this very weird thing. Hey, I'm gonna go ahead and say it. Kind of weird, but let it also be known. that this man is my hero.
and can't sleep unless he's surrounded by them.
I love all balloons, but I do have my favorites. I like the crystal clear, the transparent. You know, it's like a soap bubble, you know, you can see through it. I've got the long ones, the round ones, but my favorite is the spherical ones.
This image, I mean, it's just the most beautiful cinematography I've ever seen in any TLC show. Like, what are we looking at here? I mean, this is crazy. I cannot sleep unless I am surrounded by balloons.
And can't sleep unless he's surrounded by them.
I must be draped in balloons. Also, this image right here, when he's talking about how the transparent ones, the crystal clear ones, those are his favorites. It's like a soap bubble. I can almost see through it. This image, I mean, truly, it makes him so happy. He is so unabashedly in love with balloon. And like, what happens if they pop? I'm kind of terrified to find out what's gonna happen when they pop. Because, I mean, as much as you can love a balloon and look at it like this and think, it's kind of like a bulbous or something. To commit to it for 50 years? I think he's just cracked what life is all about.
My favorite is the spherical ones. Why? I don't know. I guess it's like a guy that prefers blondes or brunettes, you know?
Yeah, I guess it's a little bit like a guy who goes, do you prefer blondes or brunettes? I want a clear round balloon to hump. It's just, yeah, yeah, exactly, yeah. I'm often hanging out with my friends. What do you prefer? By the way, who says that? I've never been in a situation where guys are sitting around going, hey, you prefer blondes or brunettes? Hey, I don't like women. Which ones you like? But if I was in that situation and someone said, big fat juicy round balloons covered in baby oil, that might recontextualize our relationship.
Julius is so addicted, he even has an entire room dedicated to balloons.
This is my balloon sanctuary. I sleep in my balloon room every night.
I'm sorry. He has a balloon room dedicated to this. This is the dedicated balloon room. And he sleeps in it every night. And it's covered in a blanket. A towel, if you will. Come here! But without the hair towel. And they're showing us it. Like, he's showing us this. You could have taken that off before they came in. He's like, no, this is where I lay on my back covered in baby oil with all these balloons around me. And I have a ball. Like, why would you show us this? And could you believe me if I told you that this man is married? Like, that is a factor here. Because I guarantee you she is not sleeping in that come here towel bed with it.
My wife thinks it's strange, but she accepts it.
That is so funny. After the stuff that they show us, to just like in the middle of the video be like, yeah, he does have a wife and she does not approve. This guy, for 50 years, has been doing this. He has a sanctuary where he sleeps every night draped in balloons with a come here towel right on the bed. And his wife is like, yeah, I'm not involved in this. I think it's strange. Oh my God, the type of person that you have to be to have a wife who thinks that this is strange, but will still make a sanctuary dedicated to it and then invite TLC into that sanctuary. Oh my God, this man loves what he loves. And you know what? Maybe in private, his wife supports him and she just doesn't want to be on camera. But he did say that she thinks it's strange.
But Julius's obsession with balloons goes beyond shapes and colors.
My love for balloons, it's also a sexual love. When I see a beautiful balloon, my heart starts to flutter and I get aroused.
Yeah, that's where it drops in the video. Yeah, it's also a sexual love. The images of him just sitting there feeling the warmth of it on him. Literally, Peter Griffin stroking a transparent balloon in the most dramatic fashion. Hey, Lois. I can't do the accent. Hey, Lois, I'm eating, I'm humping up. Yeah, well, leave it to, what's his name? Seth Meyers. Who is it? But the greatest image, let me give you a slow motion replay, is this one right here, where he is like soaking in the warmth. Like, oh my God. And then this is where we get the technique. So he fills all these balloons up and has such an affection and a love for them that he has this, and it could not be more sexual. Could this be any more sensual? Like, oh my God, here, let me help you. It's like he's, oh my God. But it's what he says while he's filling it up. It makes it so good.
I'll take a 12-inch and I'll inflate it to 11-inch. That way it can take a lot of abuse. I'm holding one, hugging it, I'll kiss it, and it's like being in heaven. I mean, don't you like to hug and kiss the woman that you love? Hug
his wife is right there. I'll take a 12-inch and fill it up to 11. so that it can take more abuse.
That way it can take a lot of abuse.
And kissing it. We know you're not just kissing it. We know based on that towel. Is that a towel? Maybe it's just a fuzzy blanket. Hey, maybe Julius isn't creepy with them. Maybe he just likes to lay surrounded by them, kissing them, and touching them like this. It can take a lot of abuse. Said while there's just a wet stain on his shirt that I'm assuming came from drool from hand blowing the previous one. That's so inappropriate sounding. These shots, this cinematography, this one right here. I mean, there is truly obsession.
I mean, don't you like to hug and kiss the woman that you love?
I mean, don't you like to hug and kiss the woman that you love? You know, like my wife, who I don't think about that with, but I do think about it with these clear balloons. POV, Julius just blew you. What? Something about, I got on a sentence that I didn't like. Okay.
There's lots of people out there that feel the same way as I do about balloons. But there's two groups of the lunar group. You got the poppers that get aroused by popping balloons, and you got your non-poppers.
That was one of the most inappropriate things I've ever seen. It was just a balloon getting touched. Get your fucking toes off of the balloons. Listen, TLC, you can show me whatever the hell you want, but do not ever put toes on a balloon in front of me and have it like playing with it. That's one of the freakiest things I've ever seen. I did not like that image. And then I really didn't like the image of bro playing with the nibble of the balloon. Also, he said there's lunars, there's poppers and touchers.
You got the poppers and you got your non-poppers.
And he's not a popper. By the way, I could tell. I could tell just based on the look of you. If I see a popper in the streets, trust me, I know. This man has a love and affection for them. That's why in this next shot, he's covered in sweat, surrounded by balloons. Oh my God.
Julius's addiction to balloons started when he was hospitalized at just 4 years old.
My mother come to visit one time and she gave me a real nice blue balloon. But that night, the nurse grabbed it and I heard the balloon pop. So after she left, I just cried myself to sleep.
Oh, wait. I don't know how we get from there to here, Julius. If I'm being honest, my mom gave me a balloon. Balloon kind of looks like a big boob. Your mom gave you a balloon and then it popped and you cried yourself to sleep. And now you want to get covered up in oil and rub around on balloons? I don't want to say Sigmund. This is incredible though. Look at the joy in his eyes, because the reality of the situation is, while he's sitting there going, he clearly knows what he likes. And he just gets after it. What I find so funny about this though, is he's talking about all this and he has a wife who doesn't like it and didn't want to be filmed. Like all of this, he's not harming anybody. He's not doing anything wrong. But then also have a wife who isn't supportive while you're talking about the balloons as a woman you love. God, Julius is such a figure.
Since then, the sound of a balloon popping devastates Julius, and he even rescues balloons he believes to be in danger.
I'll go to car dealerships and do what I call a balloon rescue. When they set them out early in the morning, they're really beautiful. And as the sun bakes on them, they get really dull.
No, don't give him this shot right here, the hero shot. Cowboy hat brim down. Balloons in the background, leading them into the warm safety. This should win an Emmy for cinematography. If you're at the point that you love balloons so much that you're stopping at car dealerships because you want justice for them, dog, it's just a balloon. That's what I don't get. Because, okay, on the one hand, like, people can have their things, and I get that. You can blow up a balloon, get so excited about it. But the idea that any balloon within your sight that's not on your body. I'm not surrounded by this balloon right now. I need to be. This car lot, they have balloons, but what they're not thinking about is, instead of just leaving it out all day for marketing like they bought it for, I could take them, put them on my towel, and just have a blast. They're not thinking about that. I need that balloon. He is a menace. He's a menace to the balloon society of El Paso.
I feel, like I give him a second chance at life.
By the way, the imagery of this, him going to a used car lot, stealing these balloons, putting them in the trunk, driving away while saying, I feel like I'm giving them a new life.
I feel, like I give him a second chance at life.
Like, if this wasn't already a Pixar film, clearly the balloon would be sentient, and it's just like some kid that got abducted. Like, it's such obviously an innocent thing, and this guy is just taking him off the streets, putting him in his car, and taking him home so he can put them in his sex. It's so sad. Oh my God, these balloons deserve to live outside of your just fantasies. I see a balloon, I'm covering it in baby oil. The balloon's sitting there like, I had a life. I was a car salesman. A car salesman balloon getting abducted by this guy and put in his fucking sex. It literally becomes like an R-rated tearjerker film. Pixar, please, please, Pixar.
The fact that he feels like he has to keep it a secret definitely points that there is a problem.
Holy fucking shit. He looks exactly like Elton John. How have I not put that together by now? Holy shit, that's Elton John. I don't even have... Wait. I think there's a voiceover talking. I think that's his nephew, maybe, talking about how like this guy keeps it hidden. Julius does, and I guess maybe the point of this TLC episode is, oh, we're gonna reunite the family. We're gonna get them to accept Uncle Julius and his fucking obsession with getting them on his balls. Got balloons on his balls. But you're saying all that, and I'm looking at this man, and that is the fucking Rocket Man.
I see nothing wrong with loving balloons. It's not hurting anybody. It's not dangerous, and I have no desire to change.
And you shouldn't have a desire to change. You're 62 years old. You know how many people never find what they love? Meanwhile, we've got you posted up, Peter Griffin's silhouette, holding an orb of all of your desires with the fucking light of God shining through on the left. Somebody get this fucking cinematographer an Emmy. Who did this? Okay, written and produced by Jason Balicki. This man, right here. I am not kidding. You are one of the greatest directors in modern reality TV history, and you deserve to be stretching your wings in whatever creative field you desire. With whatever project, with whatever budget. This image, with the context of what we're watching, top 10 images put to film. Ever. Okay, anyways, the next thing we have in this documentary is Julius leading his friend, Tina, into his dungeon of balloon delights. And again, everybody, let's just marvel at the creativity and the direction from Jason Balicki. I'm not even being sarcastic.
Wow. Holy smokes.
Don't make her sit on it. Don't make her... No, why? Okay, you know what? Maybe this is making me feel a little bit better that it's not actually a come here towel. Because if he's letting his friend Tina sit on that. By the way, he's about to tell her what he does in here and she's sitting on the bed. Oh my God. Jason, how dare you? You rascal. Jason, you son of a gun. Because he's about to divulge all of his secrets and she's gonna immediately be thinking, oh, so am I currently covered in I don't want to finish it. Okay, but let's go. What's Tina gonna say? By the way, she's marveling at the biggest balloon I've ever seen in my life.
Just love everything there is to love about balloons.
Is it like an emotional love or romantic love or?
It's this combination. It's kind of like a platonic love, plus there's some sexual overtones in there too.
What do you mean sexual overtone?
I get aroused by them.
Why is he talking like that? Julius, she's clearly not matching a freak right now. Like, she's not super open to this idea of the conversation. And he is just gleeful about it because he knows that he loves it and he's gonna be himself, and I love you, Julius.
What do you mean sexual overtone?
I get aroused by them.
What do I mean sexual overtones? I get aroused by them. Yeah, there's like a romantic feeling, but also I get aroused by them while we're literally covered in them. Tina thinking, are you aroused right now? His face looking like a 20 years older version of Brandon Sanderson. Anybody else think that? Anyone else think he's got an older version of a Brandon Sanderson vibe?
I just never met anyone like that. That's not right. There's something missing there. How do they make you aroused?
I don't know, they just do. It's just there. There's that feeling.
Wow.
I guess you could call it a fetish.
He's so just open and honest. I love him. Oh my God. She's so not into it. I can't believe it. Generally, these conversations go a little bit differently in these types of shows, and they're a little bit like, for the cameras at least, oh, okay. But she's like, there's something missing with you.
There's something missing there.
Oh, you get aroused by balloons? Yeah, there's something wrong with you. Yeah, that's a hole that needs the fixing of Jesus. And then there's him smiling more sincerely and purely than I have ever seen, saying, well, I guess you could call it a fetish.
I guess you could call it a fetish.
Dude, you're sitting on a bed with a kind of come here towel looking thing with balloons everywhere, sitting on this bed with this woman. Oh my God. You're just, you're so not self-aware. I love it.
It doesn't do anybody any harm. It's not a threat to society. And it makes me happy. So I figured, what's wrong with it?
What does your wife think about the balloons?
She really hasn't said much.
She doesn't like get a little bit jealous or?
I don't think so. I don't think she sees it as a threat.
You should maybe talk to her. Julius, I think this might be a communication barrier where you just haven't really opened up the conversation. Because based on you saying before, my wife finds it strange and her refusing to be in this, and you saying that you kiss and fondle balloons like, you know, a woman you'd love. Not like, oh, you know, like how I feel about my wife, which by the way would be crazy to say. But he hasn't said anything about his wife other than, oh yeah, I mean, yeah, I guess she thinks it's strange. Yeah. Matter of fact, let me blow up another one real quick. Oh, that's the energy he's given, and we love him for it.
Would you find it as a threat?
I think I'd come in here and pop every single balloon, yeah.
You would.
Oh yeah, I would.
Wow. When she said that she would pop them all, that kind of threw me for a loop. I see my relationship with balloons as something innocent and should not be a threat.
He's covered in sweat. Now we're on a frame right now of him going like this to a big red balloon. You know, that's just kind of shocking. I kind of think it's innocent. I have an entire fetish sanctuary dungeon of balloons. By the way, him saying this while avoiding eye contact with the camera and his forehead just covered in sweat. Maybe it's just a hot house, but just sweating. Balloons around him, oh, sweating, picking things up, going like this. Oh, I don't know why she thinks it's weird. It's like, that's why it's weird, Julius. But by the way, peace and love, and we love this for you. Okay, but now Julius is gonna go talk to his nephew, and listen, I think the man lived in a little bit of a delusional world. You know what it honestly is? He's lived with a secret for 50 years, I guess. And he has become so tunnel vision into like, no, it's normal. It's like, no, you've just been doing it for 50 years. It is definitely not normal. Like, even you probably know, like, it's a little bit weird to talk about, like, and there's nothing wrong with it, but like going and just saying it to somebody is like, it's a little bit weird. But the way he just has absolutely no qualms. This is the first qualmless man I've ever seen. I love it. Okay, let's hear him talk to his nephew.
A little talk about your balloons, at your balloon room.
So what kind of questions do you have?
What do you get out of your balloons emotionally?
This is a scene out of a completely different movie. This is a Scorsese film. Big underground gangster confrontation vibes. So I've been hearing through the family that you kind of got a fucking balloon dungeon sitting with that car, the antique car right behind them, with a Pepsi Zero and the ice water right there, cowboy hat. So what kind of questions you had, son?
What kind of questions do you have?
Yeah, I know you heard about my balloon dungeon, but what kind of questions are you got, son? I love the confrontational nature of this because his energy is definitely shifted. He's a little bit on the defensive, like, what?
When I inflate them, it seems like they come to life for me.
Really?
Yeah.
I heard that there was some physical attachment to these balloons, maybe sexually.
There's sexual overtones to it.
Really?
Yeah.
It's not undertones, by the way. I just realized that. The tightest shot ever on this one. And again, thank you, Jason. This is a phenomenal piece of film. Yeah, you want to know what about my balloons, huh? Yeah, there's sexual overtones. Yeah, and what about it? Yeah, I like to get them covered up on my body, and I like to have a release afterwards. And so what about it, boy? Tell him, Julius, stand up for yourself, man. You got this.
There's sexual overtones to it.
Really?
Yeah.
What is it that gives you that sense? Is it a smell or a feel?
It's all of it. It's all of it. It's the feel, the smell,
the looks.
And I don't want to go any further into that.
Okay. You ever think that maybe there's something wrong?
Oh man. Yeah. Definitely Julius came into this one and is like, hey, it'll be a good thing. I've been hiding this entire, part of my life from my family, honestly, entire life, 50 years. It started when he was 4. So his entire life he's been hiding this. He's like, you know what? I've reached 62 years old. I'm okay with it. I'm comfortable in me. Let me just share it with my family and the world. And his entire family said, you ever think about how there might be something wrong with you? Hey, you might have a hole inside of you, just something that's missing. Hey, the fact that you just can't stop going on these balloons is a little bit concerning based about your, psychiatric health. And here's the thing, for his family and his friends who are coming after him for this, he should be celebrated. This is a man who has been in the closet with his balloons, literally, with a come here towel for 5 years. By the way, 5 decades, half a century, and he's sharing this with you now. You be grateful of Uncle Julius, son.
You ever think that maybe there's something wrong?
Nope.
Nothing. If you feel like it, you have to keep things hidden, especially something like this. There's obviously a problem. Do you think you'll ever give it up?
Hey, how about you back the hell up? You know why he's been keeping it hidden? Because of your judgmental ass. You are the antagonist, and this man who loves to just oil up with his balloons, he is definitely the protagonist of this movie. If you've been hiding something because of fear of embarrassment and ridicule for so long, well, then how about when you finally build up the courage and bravery to say it, I embarrass and ridicule you because you're dumb for doing, it don't make any sense. And the nephew in this situation is a very bad guy, okay? I don't get it.
No.
No.
Definite no.
Definite no. Hell, I've been doing it too long.
Have you ever thought about going and talking to somebody about it?
I don't have a problem.
Right.
So why be concerned?
That's what I'm talking about. He doesn't have a problem. He has a solution. Oh, I'm sad today. Oh, I don't know what to do today. Oh, even me, if I'm Julius, I'm gonna go into my balloon sex dungeon and just oil up and just go like that. That is what he has figured out to live a very happy life. Trust me, he's a very happy man. He's drinking water. You're drinking Pepsi Zero. I can't even lie. I love a 0-calorie soda pop. I don't like this young man's attitude though. I really don't like it.
Everybody's trying to make me think like I got a problem. I don't.
Yeah.
Give it up.
That's what I want to see out of Elton Julius Sanderson. And I don't want to compare him to Rosa Parks at all, so I'm not gonna. But that is a man who stands behind what he believes in. You think there's something wrong with me? You think I need to go talk to somebody? You think I got a hole in me? Something lacking? Trust me, the only one lacking is you. I got my beautiful baddies all inflated beside me. And I can inflate another one right now. Woo! Look at that! Ooh! Let me fill it up and go Peter Griffin style, non-verbal in the patio, on the screen in porch. You gotta stick up for what you believe in, and you gotta not let these nephews who don't want you to be getting involved in your balloons come and try to take away your joy. He's been doing this for half a century. What have you been doing for half a century? You haven't even been alive that long, redhead. And shout out all of you redheads. You redheads.
Julius has been in love with balloons since he was 4 years old. He thinks his addiction is harmless, but his family and friends are concerned about the effect his obsession is having on his life. Today, Julius is seeing a therapist to put their minds at ease.
There is not a damn thing this therapist can do that's gonna make me think anything other than this is the poorest fitting outfit I have ever seen put on by a man with Elton. I mean, Julius. I can't even see his right hand. He's drowning in this. Did he lose weight and height? And this is just an old shirt? Because his pants too, just swimming in. It's like the clothing of a mascot and he's just wearing it. Him walking up too, this, it looks like the fly's undone. Guys, we do not need to be worried about the balloons in his life. We need to be worried on his wife letting him walk out of the house like this. But if I'm honest about it and I keep looking at it, there's shades of A$AP Rocky. There's shades of it. Or like a Kanye 2016. Not Kanye. There's something kind of nice about the fit. Okay, but he's a therapist is the point, and he's going to be fixed of his problem. Okay.
What have been the main problems that this has caused? And
As far as I'm concerned, it's never caused any problem. Well, I spent 8
relationship
years in the Army, living with guys,
how was that for you, not being able to have access to
I had to hide it, but, I was successful in hiding it. Nobody ever found out about it.
Wait, he was in the military? Pixar, please. This could have an incredible 3-act structure. It's a war movie. It's a war, forbidden love, drama, thriller. He was in the military and the therapist gave him the out of, what was it like not having access to it? And he said, oh no, trust me, I have access. They just didn't find out about it. So that means he had those little rubber water bottles that they have in the military. And he was just going there, trying to blow it up. And then at night I don't know what he was doing with it, but he was successful in hiding it. Dog, this is a man who has been through so much. Can we just accept him? Can we just accept him? Get this man on the runway, extremely oversized fit and balloon in hand. Please.
So you've kept that a secret for all of these years. Mm-hmm. Okay. Is there any particular reason why you didn't want people to know?
I was afraid of ridicule, hey, what a pervert he is and stuff like that.
Some people might not approve of his behavior. Some people might find it uncomfortable.
Cutting to the shot of him doing this. Yeah. You get uncomfortable while I'm here on my comfortable bed, sanctuary of balloons? Yeah. The dramatic ass piano music. Yeah, I think the thing is, if anybody has a problem with it, that's a personal problem, unless it's his wife. Unless it's like really getting involved in their marriage, which it sounds like it potentially could, but that's just me picking up on subtext, baby. There's no text that says, well, there's a little bit of tension between him and his wife, but like, he's done it for 50 years. He went to the war. I don't know what war though. Wait, what war? But wait, okay, keep going.
He is not harming anybody by doing this, but it might make people uneasy around him. So I think that sometimes we cannot anticipate how people will react to this. Are there any reactions that you might not be prepared for? And if so, how would you deal with that?
I just say, well, you either get used to it or whatever happens, because it's not going to change me. He brought up the fact that I could have some negative reactions. That's something I'm really not worried about. I can deal with it. Regardless of negative reactions, nothing's going to change. I'm going to always love balloons until the day I die.
Hell yeah! Hell yeah, Jason Balicki. Walking off into the sunset with his balloons, cowboy hat on, saying, if the whole fucking world is against me and these balloons, I'll walk into the sunset with these sons of bitches. That is a hero. That's my mentor. That's my mentor. We're gonna have weekly meetings. He should be written about in religious texts. That is a man of biblical commitment. Yeah, you know what? I kept it hidden for 50 years because I was afraid of getting ridiculed, so I decided to put it on the biggest platform I possibly could and faced immediate ridicule, but fuck them all and they mama. Walked off. A walk-off shot with the balloons in the sunset. Just a fucking home run. You see why I like this guy so much though? He's just himself. By the way, could you subscribe? Please subscribe, please.
Listen, I gave